Good morning. It's Monday morning, October 1st at 10:41 a.m. and what a beautiful day to be alive. Got my morning coffee sitting under a beautiful shade tree in the front yard of my sister's house. I'm making this video so that I can bring everybody up to date on what's been going on over the last couple weeks and what's going to happen in the very near future. First of all, though, before I start, I want to take a moment and thank everybody, as I do every chance I get, to thank you for your support, your continued prayers, your constant support, your words of encouragement, and your words of inspiration. I love each and every one of you, and I know in my heart of hearts that not one single step I take out here would mean anything if it were not for all of you and your prayers and support. So from my heart, I thank you for that. It's been great visiting with my sister. I've been out off the road now for about 3 weeks. The original plan was when I got down here, I was taking at least 2 weeks off, visit with my family, visit with old friends from Flagler Beach, Palm Coast, Daytona Beach, and the surrounding area. I lived here, probably 10 or plus years ago, and have many friends in this area. Florida also holds a significant place in my heart because this is the state where my parents both retired, and my father passed away in Jacksonville, Florida, at the Naval Air Station, and his ashes were sprinkled off the pier in Flagler Beach. And my mother, who passed away in Lincoln, Nebraska, her ashes were sprinkled also off the pier in Flagler Beach. So Florida as a whole has a very special place in my heart. So it was a very big blessing for me to finally reach Florida. Well, again, I've been here for about 3 weeks, and it's time I start pounding pavement again. I had planned to leave today on the 1st, but as some of you already know, and for those of you who don't know, sometime last week, it was Sunday or Monday of last week, I can't recall the exact day, the motherboard on my previous laptop took a dive. I'm unsure what caused it. It was fried. I did a diagnostic test on it. The laptop wouldn't even come back on again. And through some research of my own, I narrowed it down to the motherboard. The only explanation that I have, there's been a couple of storms here in Florida since I've been here. And Florida is known as the lightning capital of the world, of the United States. There are more lightning strikes here in Florida than any other place in the U.S. So I think that maybe a lightning strike must have struck near the home or on our house, and I had remembered that my laptop was still plugged in during those storms, thinking that I'd be safe, but apparently I wasn't. So I don't know for sure that was the fact that fried the motherboard, but I can't think of any other reason. I had a great virus protection on my laptop, and it did virus scans every 24 hours. So that's the only explanation I have. Well, I finally got my hands on a brand new laptop yesterday. I want to put a big thank you out to my friend that provided that laptop for me. Now, she likes to keep a very low profile, so I'm not going to mention her by name, but I've known her for 20 plus years, and when she heard of my dilemma, she came on board and provided a new compact laptop for me. So one of the downsides, however, to getting my motherboard fried is I believe I lost a lot of information that I had on my laptop, which included hundreds of photographs, hundreds of news articles that I had saved that had been written about me since the walk started over a year ago. I'm still trying to retrieve those articles off the website and off the internet. That will take time for me to do that. I had at least, I know, 100 articles that I had saved, both on news stations, in newspapers. So I'm trying to retrieve those. I thought I had backed them up properly on Norton, which is my virus protection program. They have a backup program that you can use. I thought I had saved them, but it looks like I didn't do it right, so I lost a lot of good stuff that was saved in my computer. Again, it'll take a few weeks as I try and retrieve that stuff from other sources that I think I may have backed them up on. But so that's the bad news about it. The good news is, of course, my videos were saved on YouTube, so I didn't lose any of those. But on to future endeavors. This whole next week will be focused on getting myself started back on the road on October 8th, which is this coming Monday. I will start from the Capitol steps in Tallahassee, where I ended my walk when I came to Florida. And my journey will take me north to Atlanta, Georgia. From Atlanta, I will march into Dalton, Georgia, which is about 50 or 60 miles north of Atlanta. I'm going to stop in Dalton because I went to high school there and I've got a lot of old friends there. Once I leave Dalton, I'll shoot south into Alabama, catching that capital, and then I'm walking west to California. The predicted timeline, sorry, it's a school bus going by. But the predicted timeline for me to get to California is about a year. Now, you can get to California much sooner than a year. You can actually reach California in about 6 or 7 months walking, but my route will be doing a lot of this because I'll be catching capitals in the southern part of the country as I'm walking to California. So that'll take longer than the norm. Once I get to California, I'll be taking a cruise from California to Hawaii as my way of covering Honolulu as well. The idea is that as the ship sails, I'll walk around the deck of the ship like this, so many hours per day, and that won't cover the exact mileage to Hawaii, but it's the best that I can do under that circumstance. And then we'll use the cruise as a fundraiser. People can pledge how many laps I do on the ship through the travel agency that's one of my sponsors. We'll also sell cabins for that cruise, and I'll encourage people to come along for me. And of course, if you're on board, you're more than welcome to walk with me around the ship. And for every cabin that's sold, our foundation gets a percentage of that. Once I'm back from Hawaii, back to California, I will then head north up into Seattle, Washington. Once I reach Washington State, I will take another cruise to Juneau, Alaska and back with the same idea of fundraising. Once back from Alaska, I'll head back to the east coast of the U.S., and the way that I'll cover that is I'll serpentine up and down the country like this, all the way back to the East Coast, my finish line being Arlington Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia. Many of you have asked me how long do I think this entire walk will take. The math in my head says 6 years. It could take longer, it could take shorter, but regardless of how long it takes, I won't stop until I finish and cross that finish line. If it takes me 10 years, it takes me 10 years. I learned very quickly on this march that I'm taking my time. If my body tells me it's time to take a break, I take a break. You can follow my procedure or my route on my website, and it's very simple to follow. If you go to marinewalking.org, at the top of the page you'll see Marine Walking. If you put your cursor over that Marine Walking, there'll be a drop-down menu, and there's 3 ways you can track me. You can click on Max Calendar, Max Route, and Spot GPS Tracking. Each one of those will show you where I'll be. Please keep in mind that all 3 of those sources to track me are not written in stone. Another lesson that I learned on this walk so far is that things can change that fast. Often I may plan to be in a certain city the next day, and I'm asked to stay where I'm at for a speaking engagement, for an interview. Sometimes weather is a factor. Sometimes I'm just too exhausted to go on. So things can change in a heartbeat, and I try and keep my website and my Facebook updated if something changes. So please keep that in mind, that things can change that quickly out here on the route. The one for sure thing that will never change is that, again, I will finish this march. I may be crawling across that finish line on my hands and knees, bloody, beaten, and battered, but I will cross that finish line regardless how long it takes me. I do have a bit of great news coming down the line. I'm not going to announce it in this video. I will announce it later on this week. It does affect some certain administrative factors of my walk, but it's great news. It's not a downside whatsoever. Let's see what else is going on. I've decided to change the color of my cart. I'm going to spray paint it a desert camo to match my desert camouflage utilities that I wear. I've actually trimmed the fat on my cart as well. I've taken some things off. I've reduced the weight a dramatic amount. Some of you may remember that on the back of my cart there was a banner. The banner was placed there so as people approach me from behind, they can read what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Well, I've learned that banner doesn't really serve a purpose, because most people that spot me from behind are people in vehicles that fly by me at 50 miles an hour, and they can't read it anyway. So I've decided to take the banner off. The downside to having the banner was that if I'm walking up a very steep hill, which I've walked over many of them, sometimes 2 miles long, and if I get a headwind, that banner acts as a sail and slows me down dramatically. Of course, if it's a tailwind, it's a very strong factor for me, and pushes me down the road even faster. There's been a few instances where I've been on flat land and there's not a tree anywhere and there's fields on both sides of me, and I'll get a huge headwind and it'll bend that banner back like this, almost at a 45-degree angle, and really slows me down. So after much thinking and processing, I've decided I'll do away with the banner. Most of the time when people approach me and ask me what I'm doing, they don't see the back of the banner anyway, so again, it doesn't really serve a purpose. I will continue to fly the U.S. flag and the POW flag. See what else. Some of you who don't know it, I do have a wonderful girlfriend now. We're coming up this week. This Friday will mark 1 month together. Her name is Randy Langford. She's on my Facebook friends list. She's making arrangements, and I won't go into the specific details, but she will be joining me on the walk. And when she comes out on the walk, there will be a chase vehicle. We're looking into purchasing either a fifth wheel or an RV. We don't know how soon that will be. It may take a couple of weeks, it may take a couple of months, but she is going to join me. and she's got a huge part of my heart. I love her very much. I know that this is embarrassing her, so I won't go too far into it, but she knows that I love her very much, and the good Lord has definitely placed her in my life for a reason, and it brings more enthusiasm for me on this walk, especially with the fact that I get to share it with her and she gets to share it with me, and we see nothing but great times down the road. It's going to be a great factor for both of us. We both are true believers in the good Lord, and that He places things in your life for a reason. So this has been a fantastic blessing for me. I can't think of any other changes that have occurred. Again, I'm leaving on the 8th of October, which is a week from today, from the Capitol steps of Tallahassee. I think I'll be leaving at about 09 or 10 in the morning. If memory serves me correctly, for those of you that live in or near Atlanta, I'll be there. It's about a 5-week walk for me. In this heat in the south, I'm still only doing 10 to 15 miles a day. Once Randy joins me here on the walk and I have a chase vehicle, I can cover more miles per day. I don't have to pull my cart. I'll be able to take more breaks during the day and cover more miles. But it comes down to what my body tells me. Again, I'm 51 years old, and when I walk on this march, it does beat up my body every day. There have been walkers out there that have walked for cancer, that have walked for child abuse, that have walked for world hunger, that have walked for other veterans' reasons, that cover many more miles a day than I do. They get their mission done quicker than I do, and I applaud them and I salute them for what they do. Lord knows they are a great inspiration to me, and I've learned so much from watching their videos, reading their articles, and whether they know it or not, they help me out here. So I applaud what they do, but I listen to my body. I know that there will come a time that I'm going to have to climb the Rocky Mountains. I'm going to have to climb the Appalachians, the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, and many mountain regions going west to California. If my body tells me I can only walk 1 mile that day, that's all I'm walking. I'm not out here to kill myself. I'm out here to succeed. This is not a sprint for me. It's a marathon, and I'm taking my time to do what I have to do. I want to thank everyone again for your understanding. I want to thank you for your inspiration. I can't thank you enough for all your support. All of you have a very special place in my heart right here. So thank you for that. I do want to talk about the Eagle Rare Life Award contest. We just crossed over 5,000 votes. Currently, the leader right now has 42 or 44,000. The contest goes on until January 3rd. So we still have a good 3 months to catch up and pass them. I can't emphasize enough that we can't win this without all of you. So please vote every day. You can vote approximately every 24 or 26 hours. The website resets itself and you can vote again. Please make yourself a sticky note, write on your hand, write on your forehead, write on your computer, whatever it takes. Vote every day, because the grand prize for this contest is $30,000, and we could do so much with $30,000. Among most foundations, nonprofit foundations, we're still very, very small in comparison. We have a very small crew on board. We have a very small signature, meaning many people don't see us or know who we are until I come upon them. So we could use that $30,000 in a very bad way. So please vote every single day and encourage everyone else you know to vote. We could really use that $30,000 to help so many people. I can't think of anything else to bring up, though I'm sure once I stop recording it'll come to me. But I do want to thank everyone again for your help. Many of you have been on board for the last year and a half. Many of you have come on board since I started. Some of you are still new on board. And just know in my heart, I know none of this would be possible if not for the good Lord upstairs and all of your support. I'm just a guy on a mission, a vessel with a message. This isn't about me whatsoever. It's about the veterans that need our help. So, with that said, I hope I haven't talked your ear off. If any of the information I gave you, I said it too fast, or you need more information about any topic that I've covered, please feel free to call me at 571-208-7735. Again, that number is 571-208-7735. Or you can email me at mac@baldmanwalking.com. Again, that's mac@baldmanwalking.com. You can also reach me on Facebook. You can IM me. You can text me at my phone number. There's numerous ways you can contact me. This will also be on YouTube, so you can go on there and you can copy and paste the HTML code if you want to save this video. So I think that's it. Thank you for taking the time to listen to and watch my video. Please keep me in your prayers. Oh, one other thing. There will be a blog radio show this afternoon. It's currently 11:02 a.m. and the blog radio show will go from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll do one today, Wednesday, and Friday, as long as the technical part of this cooperates and nothing else comes up. So if you want to call me on the blog radio show, I'll put forward the number once I'm online. Thank you all for your help. I love you all very much. Thank you for your support. Baby girl, this is for you. Daddy loves you very much. So, Semper Fi.